Hello there, and welcome to This Is Your Life, which this evening comes from Bexhill, a quiet little town on the Sussex coast that wasn't quite so peaceful when it was the wartime base for the 56th Heavy Regiment Royal Artillery. Now, the lads of D Battery are having their reunion tonight. And one of the men who organised that at this sentimental location for them, the Warr Pavilion, is one of the most unpredictable people ever to don military uniform. And believe you me, he has not changed one whit since then. Today it's been like a military operation, tracking him and getting ready to outflank him. And when I do get to him, which should be in a matter of seconds from now, I have no idea what will happen. I don't even know if we'll get a chance to tell you his story. This man, you just never know. Well, the cameras aren't just here for the reunion, but because tonight, ex-bombardier Spike Milligan, this is your life.
You call this a life?
To get rid of the sherry, I will.
I'll get it.
Sing cheers. Take your seats, folks. It's going to be great fun. Oh. Never thought you'd make it. Don't look. Spike Milligan, this is your life, and I've been quite serious about it. And where better to tell your story than here in Bexhill?
Has it started?
Thanks to you, yes, the unlikely scene of some of the most remarkable exploits of World War II.
Get out of it.
A stirring tale that you recently recalled in your personal war history, Adolf Hitler, my part in his downfall. Well, as you can see, your old comrades are out here in force, Spike. But first, let's meet someone that you thought was going to miss this great reunion. Your wife, of course, Penny.
This is not my wife.
Spike.
This is somebody else's wife.
Spike, there's another lot of people you thought were elsewhere tonight. They're not. They're all here, too. To find out what Daddy did in the war and much more besides. Your children, Laura, age 20. Sean, 18-year-old Sean. 15-year-old Celia. And last but not least, 6-year-old Jane.
Whose kids are you then? None of this is mine. Nothing to do with me, this lot. Mrs. Jones, aren't you?
Jane, darling, we haven't had a chance to talk. Where did your daddy think you lot were tonight?
My Uncle Ducky's.
That's right. He thought you were about 60 miles away in Guildford, but there's someone else he thought was much further away than that. 12,000 miles away in Australia, where she went to live over 20 years ago, but age 79, she's flown from Sydney to be with you, your mother, Florence. Mrs. Florence Milligan.
Make you travel first or second class?
Take your seat over there, Florence.
Over there. Jolly good.
Now, Florence, Spike has talked to me about you many times over the years, but I also know you're the one person in the world that can more or less keep him in order. Can we rely on how to keep him in line tonight?
She's a better Catholic than you.
I think so. I think so. As a matter of fact, I'm sure so.
Good. I'll be relying on you. Now, Spike, yours is a life of many accomplishments. Comedian, actor, scriptwriter, poet, painter, musician, novelist, and, of course, a founding father of one of the funniest shows of all time, a British institution, the Goon Show. As you know, it's very hard to track a goon.
Hello, Spike.
Get out!
Hello, me. I'm not there because I'm here.
Long before the goons were invented, your story began April 16, 1918, Spike, when you were born at a place I can't pronounce.
Amanaga.
Thank you. India. Terence Alan Milligan, son of Warrant Officer Leo Milligan, serving in the regular army there. As a matter of fact, Spike, you come from a long line of military men. Here's great-grandfather Michael Milligan in the uniform of the period, grandfather William Milligan, and your father Leo in 1920. That's you, with your mother and father, of course. Now, Florence, with all that military tradition, weren't you a bit surprised when Spike became an entertainer?
No, not really, because he was surrounded with the atmosphere quite a bit, with Dad and I performing for the troops continually. We had our own concert party, and we used to perform for the troops, and when he was born, I still carried on afterwards, and I used to wheel him into the wings in a bassinet, run on, do my turn, come out and feed him, so surely something must have come out of that.
Well, Florence, we got it because his dad was known as India's soldier showman. With a picture of you, Florence, with your husband in costume for one of those shows.
That's my boy.
Now, there are ex-comrades here tonight, Spike, are going to find this pretty hard to believe that in those early days in India were a highly regimental character. By 1926, there was another young recruit to the Milligan family, your brother Desmond, of course, now also living in Australia with his family. And when we talked to him, he told us that you were teaching him to drill almost as soon as he could toddle.
That's right.
Remember the Romanian army, Spike?
Yes.
You were commander-in-chief at the time.
In fact, he has, too, flown from Sydney.
No!
Your brother Desmond.
Good God, hello, Jeff. Hello,
And with Desmond...
He said they rode all the way. They rode.
With Desmond, two other surprises from Sydney. Desmond's wife, Nadia.
Nadia. Hello, Nadia. Come on, let's
And Spike making his first ever trip to England to see his uncle Spike, 7-year-old nephew Michael.
Michael. Hello, Michael. He scored a try. You scored a try for his school, didn't you? Didn't you score a try for your school, Michael? Didn't you? Show me how you do it. Bring me down on the tackle. You jump, bring me down. Ready? I'm going to run. You've got to bring me down. Ready? Go. Bring me down. Right. Right. There. Great stuff.
Desmond, I want to ask you about this. What was it, Romanian army?
Yes. Well, I suppose you would say he was the genius behind it all. He concocted the idea.
Yes.
This marvelous imagination he has.
Yes.
He even thought of a national anthem for it. It was based on the early Ben-Hur film. That was the silent one.
I think we've got a picture of that army somewhere, haven't we? Can we see
There's the
picture?
army.
Yes.
In action.
Very well equipped. Desmond, where did you get the machine gun?
Oh, dear. Oh, that... Again, the delights of Spike's imagination. He'd spotted them outside the front of the company offices. They were old German First World War guns they'd mounted there as decorations. And here we crept up one dark night and whipped them. And nobody noticed them for about 2 weeks that they were missing.
Then came World War II.
And then came the trouble when the commanding officer found out.
Well, I'm by 1933 now, Spike, if you want to know, when the Milligan family returned to England, when your father's retired from the army.
Yeah.
You attend St. Saviour's School at Lewisham in London, but money's short, as Florence told us, in the Milligan household, and you leave at 14 to start work in a factory making cigarette lighters. It's not long, though, before your first ambition starts to take shape, to become a musician. And Florence, do you remember the day that Spike came home with his first trumpet?
Do I remember? There was no rent that week from him.
He made me sit in the airing cupboard with a sock in the end to play it. And I got double rupture ever since.
Anyway, it was obvious a relief for the neighbour, Spike, when you began to master the
Didn't have any
trumpet
neighbours
well
up for
enough to play with a local dance band on Saturday nights. But you've still got a real living to make. Your next job's in the Woolwich Arsenal as a machine operator, salary £3.10 a week. It's 1939 now, though, and over the water, your future adversary, Adolf Hitler, has plans that are soon to see you in a new job.
He's not here tonight, is he?
It's on June the 2nd, 1940. It'll go better the second time, yes. That as 954024, Gunner Milligan, you arrive here in Bexhill to join D Battery, 56th Heavy Regiment, Royal Artillery. A very memorable day for you.
Yeah.
Milligan, you horrible little man. Get your hair cut.
You're a sergeant then, but now war's over, old friends forgiven. Ex-Sergeant Bill Geordie Dawson.
Geordie Dawson! How are you, Geordie, me darling lad? Look who's here, lads! Come in the front, look at the camera.
Geordie, sit down, Spike.
Diggity
Tell him to sit
da-da.
down, please, Geordie.
Diggity
Thank
da-da.
you. Now, Spike Sergeant, we hear that you found Gunner Milligan a definite hazard to good order and military discipline.
You might say, Eamonn, it was Spike about. The British Army never had a dull moment. For instance, the CO was keen, dead keen on night exercises. Spike here was dead keen sleeper. We went on a night exercise. Spike got lost, or his tug got lost. Eventually, they landed up in a field about 2 in the morning. I counted heads back at billets, no Spike. Got on the motorbike and went out to look for him. Shone the torch round and shouted help, and there's Milligan, all right. Black as the ace of spades, soaking wet, and hell of a state.
You were drunk as well.
I said, look, what's the matter with you, Spike? He said, we've struck either side. He said, let's get married, we'll stay here. I said, you can't do that, Spike, get on the bloody bike. So he got on the bike, and then we got back, and he was singing spirituals, all Negro ones,
yes.
remember? All the way back, singing all the way home.
But, Geordie, that was just one example of Milligan at war. Well, you know, he made a very big contribution to morale by forming a jazz band.
He did indeed. He brought his trumpet with him. He formed a band. It was his own idea. They played all over the place. He had a good set of lads with him and about him, but if I could have shot the lot, I think on occasion some might have.
Well, you've got another chance coming, Sergeant Dawson. The antics of that D Battery band would have become a legend, Spike. So stand by for another meeting with your pals. Former guitarist Alf Files and ex-drummer Doug.
You turned up, you swine.
So you made it.
And 2 more musicians, Spike. 2 more, Spike, you lost touch with for more than 15 years. From Huddersfield, bass player Joseph Chalky White, and wait for it, Spike, from Portsmouth crooner Jimmy Devine. Jimmy, you remember the actual day Spike became the trumpet discovery of D Battery?
Oh, yes. Sergeant Dawson asked me to go across the road and find this chap with the trumpet and ask him to play Reveille, as we had no trumpeter. So I went across, I saw the trumpet and Spike laying on his bed. I said, in the morning you've got to blow Reveille. So Spike opened the window, and it was the greatest Reveille I ever did. It was a tiger rag.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Chalky, Alf, and Doug.
Later. Don't forget.
Now, there's just one member of that band we haven't mentioned, Spike, and now I want you to watch that screen, please, over there. A very important part of your combination, your pianist and best mate, Harry Edgington, who, as you know, lives in New Zealand now, but wouldn't let this evening pass without sending you a special message.
Ta-da!
Well, son, the moment that occurs to me most clearly is the night you let me in for it with a piano solo. I mentioned that I had composed a little piece of music the week before, and that next Saturday evening, during the course of the dance, after we'd finished some steps, you went to the mic and you said, ladies and gentlemen, will you all gather around the stage whilst our pianist, Harry Edgington, will play the first 2 movements of his piano concerto. You then turned to me with your finger round your nose and a big grin and said, you're on, son. And left me to thrash around on the keyboard until I'd finished this piece of music. We got a round of applause, I believe.
Asked to leave.
What a moment.
We were asked to leave.
By the way, Eamonn, will you ask Geordie Dawson if he remembers that fantastic route march? Goodbye, son. God bless.
Thank you, Harry Edgington. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry.
Tell us about this. Do you, in fact, remember it?
I do. Spike and Harry were in a bit of bother with fatigues. A couple of days after we were on a route march, and I set off with full pack like everyone else. I found mine extremely heavy after about a mile, and I eventually got it off, and it filled nothing up with lead, yeah?
Full of lead. Well, after gags like that, Spike, and many more besides, it's no surprise that you eventually are sentenced to 2 weeks' jankers at Preston Barracks, Brighton. But you've still a trick up your sleeve.
Yes.
It was lovely to see Spike walk into the canteen, but a surprise to see the military policeman.
Pull the natty girl.
Yes, we know you were looking for her yourself. You haven't seen her for 25 years. Pearl Chapman now, Mrs. Pearl Chapel.
Hello, Pearl. I went to see you.
Pearl, would you mind telling me that
Don't ask her too much. Don't ask her too much.
If Spike was behind bars, how did he manage to turn up in your canteen?
Well, he has a natural built-in charm that just seems to work all the time.
So he persuaded 2 military policemen to take him over to see you.
Him down.
And you were able to return the compliment afterwards.
Yes, because if I handed things to the guards, chocolates, anything, they would pass them on to him.
Good, and I'm sure you're quite sorry to leave that jail.
Yes, I was very sorry, because we went straight to war from there.
Thank you, Pearl Chapel.
Thank you.
For an extension of my service.
Well, very nearly straight. In fact, you spent 2 happy years, Spike, in and around Bexhill. But at last, the 56th Heavy Regiment gets embarkation orders, and your war begins in earnest. First in North Africa, and then in Italy. Now the fighting's tough. And early in 1944, the regiment's involved in an attack on high ground called Damiano Ridge. When the raid at the battery's forward observation port packs up, you, Spike, now bombardier, that's corporal of the signal section, lead a party up the ridge and through heavy fire with a replacement set. Now, there were mortar bombs falling all over, deadly clusters on that hillside, but Spike and his men were nearly through to their
the white flag
objective.
up.
Gagging though he is, they were nearly through when they're caught by a big blast. It lands you in hospital, Spike, with a wound in the leg and severe shell shock that puts you out of the firing line. Your new posting, though, leads you to meeting with a man, another Royal Artillery man, heartbroken tonight that he cannot be with you, but who's to loom very large in your life.
Always remember, he took himself rather seriously as a singer in those days. He did. Don't you listen to him, he did.
Me?
And he was dressed up as a gypsy in one scene with a bandana on.
I mean, that's
something like this. Like that round there. And he sang a tune called
Down in the forest.
Down in the forest, playing his old guitar, lives an old dreams man. And he took himself seriously.
Yeah, nobody else.
Can you imagine him taking himself seriously with a bandage round his head? And
booed off.
Trousers made of hessian, and brown plimsolls dyed black. That was Spike's first introduction to the show business.
That's right, yeah.
Honestly.
Yes. They put me in prison for
Well,
another 2 weeks.
Bombardier Milligan, from Lance Bombardier Seacombe, 924378.
Yes.
Thank you for all the laughs over the years.
Yes.
And
you owe me money, don't forget.
all the fun we had together.
Yeah.
Those unrepeatable days. Some of them. Thanks.
I want to tell it all
for being
later
a good
on.
friend and a great bloke to work with. And next time we have a reunion, I hope to be there.
Right then. Now get
I'll
out.
be the wife.
Get out.
Thank you, Harry Seacombe, in Swansea.
In Swansea.
Glad to be here. But for you, Spike, the end of the war is the start of your battle to break into peacetime show business. You tour as a musician and a variety act.
Yeah.
But you're not sure which direction to take, so following a well-known army principle, you make for a pub. A very particular pub in Victoria Street that's to be very important in your life, because another regular there is an up-and-coming impressionist.
Deutschland über alles.
Come in, Peter Sellers.
I know that place.
I'll tell you what's the matter with you. I'll tell you. Look out there. There.
Get out. Get out. I had to tough it. Look here. What do you do? Get out, Peter. It's gold spot. It's gold spot. You should do it. Oh, you fool, you. Right. What's that?
Peter, come. Can you come over here till we talk to you? Good man.
I told you Hitler was
Don't be
coming
afraid
back.
of him. Tell us about Spike and this particular pub, will you?
What would you like to know about him? How's this pub, huh?
Tell us about Hitler.
Well, we had... he used to live up in an attic. He was known as the prisoner of Zenda, you see. Jimmy Grafton had an attic in the pub, Eamonn. Right up the top. He used to have to push this door that was in the floor. Actually, the door, very dangerous. It decapitated a cat one day. It came down, bang, and you had to watch your feet and everything.
We had it for dinner.
Yes.
They were really bad days.
And also in this pub, they had a mad bulldog called Buller, you see. And this bulldog used to go ape, you know, completely mad. Because they had a monkey there as well, a little zoo, you see. Right? Yes. And the monkey used to leap on the bulldog's back in the bar and ride it around like a jockey, you know. And he would try to throw it off, and he would go smack into the wall, bang, you see. And the monkey would leap off and wouldn't, you know, it wasn't harmed. But the bulldog would get very dazed, you see, and start off the monkey again.
In fact, Peter, apart from the monkey, in the early days of the Goon Show, there were not three but 4
And there's
goons.
more where that came
So
from.
let's meet the other one
Yes,
now.
let's meet the other
Michael!
one. No.
Michael!
I dug the Suez Canal for you, but you swine, you filled it with water.
Professor Pureheart, yes, you're right, it's Michael.
Good
Come
God.
on, Michael Bentine.
Hello, Michael.
Michael, apart from all the things that happened with you four, you were telling us about another radio program that sort of sparked you off. It was a particular favour of you lot.
What was that?
Itmar.
No, Dick Barton, wasn't it?
Oh yes, Dick Barton, yes. No, what I was saying was that we used to drive down Piccadilly in Regent Street in old Seagoon's Packard Straight 8.
Yeah.
And we look out! My God, she's skinny! I can't hold her! Ah, look out! Behind you! Quick, Jock, Snowy! And we were all going about 6 miles an hour.
That pub where we were all regulars. We have the man himself that both of them mentioned, Jimmy Grafton.
Jimmy
Jimmy, Spike started to write with you in radio scripts in those days, didn't he?
Stand at ease, Major. He's a major, see?
What I always remember Spike for, when he was with us in those days, was the burden that he took off our shoulders with regard to our 2 children, Sally and James, who were about 7 and 6 then, or even cheaper. And he used to read stories to them at bedtime about the Hobgoblin men. Do you remember them?
Yes,
Yes, and they still remember them to this very day. And for that, thanks very much, Spike.
Good luck.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy Grafton.
80 guineas
Michael
this
and
time. Bravo, Major! Bravo!
The 1960s sees you appear in successful West End plays, Son of Oblomov, The Bed Sitting Room, films, television series, and you blossom too as a novelist with your book Cocoon and many children's stories. And you also make your debut as a painter and as a poet. Now, the man they call the Arch Goon gains a genuine literary reputation and a whole lot of friends. Friends like the man who shared the stage with you at the Mermaid Theatre in London for a typical Milligan show. One of the greatest English poets and writers, Robert Graves.
I was thinking about that wonderful time we had at the Mermaid. I don't know if you remember. Such a lot of things happened to you. But you said to me one day, let's go down to the Mermaid and take it over and have put on a show. And I said, show? What sort of show? He said, well, we'll see.
Hurry up, Robert.
How's it going to start? He said, well, we'll just get a table and we cover it with bottles of wine and then we just go ahead. And we'll never repeat ourselves. Well, we sang songs and we made jokes and it went on without a stop. And at last, Spike looked at his watch and said, now, ladies and gentlemen, time to end. Off you go, back to your homes, each your own bed, which was characteristic of Spike, and nobody moved. He said, I said, go home, each to your own bed. Didn't you hear? They didn't move. So
we went to
he said, all right, then another half hour. So we gave him another half hour. And that was the end of that. Spike, dear Spike, I love you dearly. And you know it. See you soon.
Thank you, Robert Graves. Somehow, Spike, you still find time to be a staunch campaigner on all kinds of causes. We have a list of all the committees you belong to, which is as long as my arm. Paddy, you know well, that's just the half of it, right?
Yes, well, he spends at least, I would say, about 50% of his time on causes and problems, and particularly on individual problems. He gets countless letters from people that we seldom ever hear about. Just now and again it pops up. And he'll leave no stone unturned until he's done what he can to help over these things. In fact, the one great thing that Spike has taught me is this business of sympathy is not enough, but to act on this sympathy.
Good luck. Well said. Spike, we've
How
cast him
about
on
that?
one of your
Well done, well done,
one
woman.
who could best sum up your life and talents. He's a man who's worked
Prince
closely beside you as writer and performer. Your very good friend, a prince among men, Eric Sykes.
Right. He's got the other half of the building, that's all. Right, now, keep
All right,
going.
Tim.
I better make it good now, Eric.
It's very tough, Eric, but how would you sum up this character?
No, to sum him up, I would think that, just to remind people that when he wrote The Goon Show, he didn't just write a show. He started a new trend of comedy that's been going throughout
not just this country, but throughout the world. And when you see shows today that have 8 to 9 writers on it that are just doing what he was doing single-handed all these years ago, that's about it. And without that talent, I personally wouldn't give him house room.
He's great.
But here he is.
He's really great, Daddy.
Is that a good
That's
summary?
great, yeah. He's
Well done.
He's a quid now. Don't put the car in the car. I'll do all that.
Thank you very much. Don't spend it all in one shot.
We're doing a famous job tonight, Eamonn. They're giving you a hard time, but they're sticking it out, lad.
Spike, there we end your story, but we couldn't possibly leave your regimental reunion here in Bexhill without just one number from that group we've reunited tonight, the famous D Battery Jazz Band. And we've all the instruments to hand, so boys, get them. A bass for you, Chalky.
He doesn't
Chalky
play.
White, your bass. Guitar for you, Al Files. Drums for Doug Kidgel, right? A mic for singer Jimmy Devine. A trumpet for you, Spike, and there's a piano. Wait now. We can even do something about that empty stool behind the piano, Spike, because he's not in New Zealand. He's flown 14,000 miles to be here tonight. Your pianist and best pal, Harry Edgington. Harry, before you go over there, it's true to say that for one night you've revived a number written specially by you to mark those great days with Spike and the boys. What's the title?
Boys of Battery D.
Yeah.
Right? Take it away, boys. Before you get started, Spike Milligan, this is your life. Now, you learn that and get over to your trumpet.